beautiful, proud. I must be respected. I must be protected. I am somebody.
And I learned it from black women is people feel so comfortable disrespecting them because we don't respect them publicly, right? White people for so long have used the excuse, why can't I say the N-word when you say that to yourselves or call yourself that or use that in your music, which is bullshit, right? Or white people have said, if you're using the B word, or they say, if you're using the B word, why can't I call them that? That's bullshit as well, right? That's excuses to be certain things and be disrespectful when you shouldn't be. So when you're sitting across from Andrew Schultz and he's talking about an experience that he can't understand because his wife is not black, you don't have the right to talk about that. You don't have the right to speak on something that you don't know, right? And to make a joke about what the experience is one thing if you're talking about haircuts and you're talking about clothing and you're talking about beards, or you're comparing what our friend Travis Kelce looked like when he was with Kayla Nicole to what he looks like now that he's with Taylor Swift, right? That is part of it. You start to assimilate to the people around you. What you're not going to do, though, is be disrespectful and say you have to develop a defense mechanism because of alleged violence. Black women aren't violent. Black women don't just walk around to beat people or to be angry or to be treated a certain way. No, black women, to me, were the entire front line of the Alton Sterling protest when he died, when he was killed by cops in Louisiana. Black women are on the front lines of everything that's about us. Black women understood that they had to take a back seat because as we were fighting for rights in our country, that we as men were going to be able to get through the door before they were. So they decided to push us forward and give us ideas and give us help and give us support and be our biggest cheerleaders because they knew we'll have an opportunity to get in the door first. The problem is, so many times now we're getting in those doors and we aren't reaching back and bringing them through that same door with us. And this is just another example of that. So whoever is Andrew Schultz's black friend, Charlemagne, you're his black friend, sit him down, talk to him, tell him what the black woman experience truly is, because he ain't married to one and he's obviously never been around enough of them to know how strong, how beautiful, how independent they could be while also being supportive, how much black women have done to create this entire world that we all live in and the way that they've poured in it.
Nobody in this world respects and looks at the black American with admiration. Nobody. Everybody looks down upon us. And they have every reason to. They have every reason to. We have nothing to offer this world other than a position as a slave. We don't have anything that we've developed in the last 40, 50 years that we can go to the world stage and say, hey, look at our invention. We ain't got nothing. We don't have a system. We don't even have a recipe. Well, you used to have a recipe. Cornbread dressing, hot water cornbread, sweet potato pie. We used to have a recipe. We used to have some traditions. Nigga, on holidays, nigga, our mothers would buy us new clothes. For Easter, Juneteenth. We used to celebrate our heritage. Now, to say that we're at the bottom in America, that's inaccurate. We're a last place on earth.
Black women deserve everything. Freedom from solving all of your problems.
Oh my God.
Respect. Every doggone thing.
Smile and sleep.
More grace.
Credit.
Happy life.
Wealth, prosperity, and love.
Love that is filled with reciprocity.
Everything. Everything.
Everything.
Black women deserve it all.
It all.
But when Trayvon Martin lost his life because he was wearing a hoodie and looked like a thug, y'all understood the respectability politics of clothing men. Why are y'all acting dense all of a sudden? Do you think that he wouldn't have shot Trayvon Martin if he was wearing a quarter zip? Would that have made him seem more respectful and palatable? Or would he have been a black man and it wouldn't have mattered? Like, obviously, I don't have a problem with quarter zips. The point is, why do y'all think that your clothing is a sign of how much respect that you deserve? And why, as a black person, would you be perpetuating the idea that you are more deserving of respect because of the clothing that you wear? Like, hello? How am I the anti-black one? The problem is y'all are so deeply indoctrinated into respectability politics and anti-blackness that y'all genuinely see black clothing styles as reflecting lower morals. So y'all do believe that it is up to the black community to put on a good suit so massa could respect you. If you aren't willing to fight for the respect that you deserve as a black person, whether you're wearing rags, a suit, a quarter zip, a Nike Tech, or you butt ass, then you're anti-black. I'm sorry, and you're missing the point.
Hello, brothers and sisters. They always say that when you are at the top, don't look down on people because you don't know what tomorrow may bring. You may one day need the help of those who are down. So watch this compilation until the end, and I'll be back with a little discussion.
Why y'all want black Americans to be affected by ICE so bad is because y'all are still convinced that we are immigrants, and we are not. We are not. We've been here for over 400 years, and for most of us, our ancestors have been here even before the slave trade. Most of us have American indigenous lineage that we can actually trace, because a lot of our families were reclassified from Indian to Negro. And there's proof that we were reclassified. We are not immigrants. They can't send us back nowhere. Where they going to send me back? North Carolina? South Carolina? Georgia? Florida? That's the only place that we can go. We're not immigrants. This is not our battle. Furthermore, most of the people who are now being deported, or most of the people that are immigrants here, have always had a stigma against black Americans. We're lazy, we're dirty, we're ghetto, we're loud, we're uneducated, we're this and we're that. But now that ICE is outside, we're supposed to be on the front lines of the same people who come here with these mentalities about us and don't even know us. I don't understand that. This is not our battle. This has nothing to do with us. And all the black Americans who want to go outside and put themselves on the front line and risk their lives, that's on them. But don't expect for the majority of us to be out there risking our lives for something that don't got nothing to do with us. Now, when it comes to immigration, me, myself, I don't mind immigration as long as it's legal. I worked in the immigration office for a period of time back in 2016. And when I say there are hundreds of thousands of files of people trying to get into this country, and I'm talking about people who have been trying for 15 plus years to get into this country the legal way, and they still haven't been able to get in yet because of whatever is going on. And yet we're trying to be pressured to fight on a front line for people who jumped in front of all of those people, okay, and cross borders illegally. Right now, if I take my ass to the Mexican border and think that I'm just going to cross into Mexico, there's going to be consequences and repercussions for my ass if I get caught. If I try to take myself to the Canadian border right now, there's going to be consequences and repercussions if I do that illegally. So why is America expected to be the country where people can just come in and out as they please, undocumented? We don't know who you are. We don't know what's going on. We don't know where you came from. We don't know if you're running from something. We don't know if you're a prisoner somewhere else and now you over here trying to sneak and hide. We don't know what the fuck is going on. Furthermore, let's look into how many black women have been unalived by illegal immigrants. One of my good friends is the sister of Dakara Thompson. Dakara Thompson was a 19-year-old beautiful woman, young woman, who was unalived by an illegal immigrant. He raped her, he SA'd her, he unalived her, and then threw her off a bridge. Okay? This was back in the late August, early September of 2025. So this is rather recent. Okay? And her family is now in court dealing with that. The gag to that story is that same illegal immigrant that unalived that beautiful young lady had been caught on a DUI a couple of months to a year before that, if I'm not mistaken, and nobody checked to see if he was actually supposed to be here or not. So he could have gotten deported and that baby girl would still be here. So no, this is not my fight. This is not our fight. We are not expected to be on the front.
That there will come a time when black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves. Then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people. And it is...
People think black Americans have no culture because our cultural characteristics are popular. When people think of culture, they think of something that's mysterious or elusive, damn near something that you have to read about in a book or something. It's like something that's not immediately apparent to those who are not a part of the culture and therefore have to be explained or introduced to someone who's an outsider. For black Americans, our cultural music, like hip-hop, rap, R&B, blues, rock and roll, gospel, country, etc., that's everyone's popular music. Our dialect is co-opted all the time and described as Gen Z / millennials / internet / TikTok speak. Our dances are used in popular video games and circulated all around social media. Because you guys like the things that we create on a global scale, it loses the mystery that we often ascribe to culture. And this is no fault of our own. We can't help that you all like the way that we express ourselves. But to make egregious statements like black people have no culture, all while people in small villages across the world are dressed in streetwear, have a favorite rapper, and know...
Contrary to the racist stereotypes that have been told about black Americans since before day one in this nation, many of you all believe, because of your racism, that black Americans are stupid, that we are unintelligent, uninformed, and easily manipulated. And all of the media images that you all consume really has implanted that in your psyche, despite all the concrete evidence to the contrary. Within the past 18-20 months, we have had two significant elections. One for the highest elected office in the land, and the well-qualified black woman lost. Then we had, most recently, the Democratic primary for that Senate seat that is up for grabs in Texas, Jasmine Crockett, and she lost. Black Americans have now realized that this nation does not want to be saved. And we're not going to continue to be taken for granted. Our votes must be earned, as well as our hard-earned dollars and our support. And it is quite clear that you all don't get that. It's wild to me because the only reason that this nation is in the predicament that it is in now is because no one listened to the 92% of black American women and the 80% of black American men and voted for the right candidate to be elected president, who was Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris should be our president. We would not be in the situation that we're in domestically and now on the world stage had she been elected. Jasmine Crockett, again, who has been one of the few voices in Congress to really serve in the best interest of the people and to speak out against the fascism in the federal government, did not win the Democratic primary in Texas because of racism and misogyny, pure and simple. You all can come up with all that other bullshit rationale that you want to and try to gaslight black Americans. Oh, and white liberals and progressives, just like after Kamala Harris lost, have really tried.
Welcome back, my brothers and sisters. So this disrespect on race is now on an all-time high. Specifically, we are talking about the white people. They feel like black aren't humans. They feel that blacks are like animals. They are like people who should only be slaves. These are people who belong to their farms. They are people who should be put on forced labor. Others see themselves as superior, more deserving the better chances, the better opportunities that exist in their communities. There was a time they went ahead and established their own towns, roads, and even shopping malls. I mean, a whites only thing. They also came up with systems in favor of them. They made laws that were so oppressive to the blacks, laws that would block black people from accessing opportunities, but made it easier for them and took advantage over the blacks. There was a time we talked about black inventions, inventing everything, but they did not benefit from their own inventions. Everything was taken from them, and they were not given any credit to their own inventions. Instead, it was taken to the whites. They improved it little by little, and they took all the credit. This made these white so popular and even made millions of dollars out of the invention that were not theirs, and left the real inventors to languish in poverty and nothing to show off or prove. This shows how black are really oppressed. You make something, they take it away from you, and in real sense, they saw these black people never deserved to be recognized about anything meaningful. It was seen as if it was demeaning to see a black man on top, inventing things that were difficult for the whites, who are seen as superiors. They did everything they could to take credit out of all these things and let the black down, and went ahead to make history with their names all over. You can do that research everywhere. Even on Google, you will never find a name of a black person anywhere. They made sure the information fed in there was of them and about them. But when you go deeper, you will realize that these people knew the importance of these blacks because they saw these strong, energetic men. That's why they came all the way from Europe to Africa to take these blacks to work for them as slaves. And the result was, you can see the results for yourself. That's a great nation, great economy, great defense. You know, it took these blacks a lot of energy to build what is now known as the USA. Without their strong, intelligent people, America won't be what you see it right now. So all this disrespect is just but to shift the attention from the main thing. The blacks now are being termed as immigrants. But when you go deeper, you will know that the blacks are the real Americans. They took part in building that country. It took them a lot of energy to make the USA what it is today. So when they term them as the immigrants, you can see the hypocrisy of the highest order. That is disrespectful to them. How can somebody term a child who was born in America as an immigrant? Few days ago, we saw them come out blazing, asking question why these blacks were not coming out on the streets for the No Kings protest, meaning they know the importance of these people in their lives. They know that their contribution could be of great impact. They mean when it comes to helping them, they demand unity, but when everything goes their way, we see that disrespect and that racism thing. So guys, we need to respect each other despite the race thing. Nobody is superior, nobody is inferior. We all need each other at one time or another. Today you might be at the top and look down on others, but maybe tomorrow you may need help from when coming down to the people you look down on and disrespected. How sure will you be to get their help? I don't know, but it can be difficult to receive their help. So my brothers and sisters, we are one people. We face the same problems. We should come together, help each other in times of need, for we don't know the day that you will need help from somebody. So brothers and sisters, I don't take for granted for you taking your time to listen to me. I appreciate. So if this is your first time here, consider to subscribe to the channel. Also like, share, and always leave a comment. Remember guys, this is strictly for educational purposes. See you in the next episode.